to Sparkle and Chill. Today, I'm going to be kitting up this happy little Easter bunny. Happy Easter bunny. And I wanted to, so this is the drills for the cross that I'm going to be working on. And it has 19 colors. I wasn't sure of the colors. I was able to dig this out last night. And I don't know that I'm going to kit this up. These come pre-bagged. I don't usually like to work out of this, but we'll see. I may decide to put it into one of the little square kits that I have. That might actually be what I end up doing. Just because the last time I did one of these, 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times, I dumped the same drills into one of the baggies. And because I was working with more than one color at a time and I had to separate drills. It was quite fun. Anyways, without further ado, I will show you what we're doing. So here are the drills. There are 24 colors and they're just labeled 1 through 24. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it does a weird alphabet thing. 11, F, P, H, U, V, O, S, R, J, D, C, Y, A, B. Why they did it that way, I have no idea. Usually they just go in order. So I'm actually a little bit confused. I'm putting these in bottles. I labeled the bottles with my 1 through, this is a new thing I got on Amazon. It's a smaller little suitcase. Isn't it cute? It was only $9. And it came with, in case you're interested, it came with a kit with baggies, a couple different kinds of trays, and looks like 4 different pens with all the different attachments and stuff, and stickers. I did put the ones that have, there were 2 colors, 11 and 13, that had 2 different, or 2 packets of drills. I just put those in here until I run out. That way, I don't have to worry about it. And this has 30, there's only 24, so I'll have plenty. But I did it this way because I think when I do these little Amazon kits, usually they don't have more than 30 colors. So this is going to be my Amazon kit one, I think, from now on, because it's just so petite and it holds everything you need it for it to hold. So that's how we're going to do it. I have my handy dandy little funnel here. And yeah, and so I am ready to get this done. I may, after this one, just go ahead and stop the video and start another video. So I thought I'd go ahead and get this out and figure out that part when I'm done. So welcome. And if you're new here, I'm sorry, I said welcome, but I didn't. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. I guess I jumped right into it, didn't I? It has been a whirlwind week. I am, it is, what day is it? It is Wednesday, the 4th, I believe, or the 3rd? The 3rd. And I am just now getting around to getting this little happy Easter bunny. Isn't it cute? I'm going to get that kitted up. And I am using my little 30 drill case from Amazon. I found this on Amazon for like $9. And it's perfect for these little Amazon kits because they generally have 1 to maybe 30 colors in them. So this is perfect for using for these, you know, smaller projects like this. And yeah, so it's been a good week. I've been working on getting my place ready for a puppy. Oh my goodness. I have little Annie coming in, gosh, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. I've been, and they're going to be doing some work in my apartment, so I've been having to get some stuff done. The good news is my Buy Nothing group, somebody came and picked up a bunch of stuff I was trying to get rid of that I didn't need anymore. I set up my, my crafting corner here. I used to have like 8 different boxes of kits were like lined up here. They're now safe in a tote standing up on end, but they're not where the puppy's going to be able to get into them and chew on the boxes. That's been my big fear, but I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with everything that's under my bed. I'm probably just going to have to keep her out of the bedroom at least initially. But that's been my life. The whole idea of getting a puppy right now is really crazy because I haven't had a dog now since 2020, since January of 2023, and I haven't had a puppy. I got her in, what year did I get her? I got her in 2010. April of 2010 is when I got her. And so, yeah, so it's kind of a, my space here is limited. So yeah, I have not had a puppy in my house for many, many moons. And I'm kind of excited though. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good for me. It's definitely going to be good for her because the situation she was in isn't great. I mean, the people are great. I think they've just been in a bad predicament. To let you know, she's 8 months old, and she was adopted by a family. I'm not exactly sure the whole story of how they got her, except that they have a son who is autistic, and he just they thought the dog would be a great thing, because honestly, pets can be a really good thing sometimes for kids with special needs. And it ended up that it wasn't, that the dog kind of freaks him out. He's a little afraid of it, and they thought maybe he'd get used to it, but it just hasn't worked. So they decided that it was best to find a home for her. And I am so excited because, I haven't had a dog since I got birds. And, in hindsight, excuse me, it was good for me to have birds. Whoops, I did it again. There's no jar in there. See what happens when I get talking? This is number 4. I got the birds because I needed my house not to be quiet, and I had just finished chemotherapy and had all of, that, and I didn't really have the energy to get a dog at that point. I wanted a dog, but it wasn't something I've never been able to have a dog, lose a dog, and then get a dog within days afterwards. It took me, it's always been a few years between dogs, honestly. Let's see, when I lost Otto, my dog that I had when I was a child, when I was in 6th grade. And then it wasn't until, I think I was in 9th grade. I think it was my 9th grade that that we got Sammy, who, by the way, little Annie looks just like my Sammy. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So that's kind of fun. I called my mom, so this is kind of fun. I was trying to get somebody to talk me out of it. I called my mom. My mom's an animal lover. I called her and I'm like, Mom, I'm getting a puppy. I'm like, talk me out of it. And she's like, well, what? And then I told her about the dog, and I was telling her to talk about it. I was sort of joking, but life has been pretty easy without having any pets, right? You don't have any other responsibilities, and so the idea of a dog the thought of it is great, but the all of a sudden having to do all the stuff you have to do with the dog, taking them walking, picking up their poop, doing all the stuff, right? And so I was like, I'm kind of, there's that part, but the rewards outweigh the bad part, the stuff you don't really want to have to do. But my doctor actually told me he put it in the notes, because I'm like, well, I was more active when I had my dog because I had to walk her and, got me out. I've thought about, and I told him, I said, I thought about getting a dog, and this was a few weeks ago. And, and so he wrote in the notes that it might be a good idea for me to get a dog. because it does, I mean, it automatically, unless you have a yard where you can just let them out in, which I don't have, it automatically makes you have to get active. You have to walk them. You have to take them. We have a dog park around the corner. Um, we have a park with, the park also has like a track to walk around. I've never been one to, other than, there's one dog park that I've taken, that I used to take Sophie to that I felt safe at. But sometimes they're just not very safe, those dog parks. You know, I had a situation, only one time where well, actually there was two different times. When I was living in a different area, when I had, it wasn't actually Sophie, it was Max. Was it Max or was it Sophie? It was Sophie when I lived over. Yeah, okay. I went to this different dog park that was small, and I got there, and it was all big dogs, and all the owners were like, "Oh, she'll be fine. Our dogs are good." And she went in there, and all of a sudden, she was yelping and crying and wanting out of there, and I had to get her out of there in a hurry, and I was just like, no, this is not where I want my dog. And so that dog park was bad. Then I found another one that was really good, but it was quite a drive. So in order for her to go and get the running out that she needed to do, I had to drive quite a ways, which I didn't mind. The people there were really nice, and it was a good group there. This guy started coming. I'm assuming he wouldn't be there anymore. I'm hoping he won't be there anymore because I'm probably going to take the new pup there. He had a big dog that, not for the dogs, he was not being treated properly by this man. This man was abusive to his dog. A couple times people called the authorities on him right when we were there at the dog park because he kicked his dog, and he was just awful to it. And so it was just, his dog was mean, and it shouldn't have even been in that part of the park, because there's two places, one for more aggressive dogs and one for calmer, shy dogs. And he was claiming his dog was shy. I'm like, your dog's not shy, your dog's aggressive. So anyways, they finally got him banned, but he would still come because it's like there's nobody there watching to make sure. But anyways, that's beside the point. So I think it's going to be a good thing. Get me out walking and getting the exercise that I need to get, socializing with people. I've been a little bit of a recluse. I've been working at home and you know, for the last several years, and so it'll be good for me. The bad thing is having to, you know, I am interviewing for a job this afternoon, a Zoom interview, and then presumably there will be an in-person interview after I got past this screen. I had a phone screen yesterday. I'll have an interview today, and then hopefully, I know that there's one more step, one more interview process with the other people that are there. And it's kind of like, you know, when you're in the business I'm in, that's kind of the way it is. It's usually a long process to get hired, which I'm kind of, I kind of want at least 2 weeks where I don't have to go to work with the new puppy to get her used to me and used to her surroundings before she has to be left while I go to work. You know, I had a friend who also has dogs and crates her dog say, well, what are you going to do when you start working? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, every time I've had a dog, I've had to go to work. You know, granted, the last several years I've been home, but prior to that, I always had to work in office. So it's just, you know what you got to do. Boy, there's a lot in that one. There was a lot. Uh-oh. Are those going to all go in? This is a tight fit here, people. Yeah, I think a few of them fell. Boy, this is a lot of drills. This is that pink color. And then we got a random color in there. Look at how full that is. That's a full bottle. Okay. I love acrylic drills just for the reason that they kit up so fast. That's why you know, when I first started diamond painting, I never experienced static to the point that people, I would, because I, you know, I always did the budget kits, and these are kind of dusty. It looks like there's some dust in this. Yeah, there's dust in that. Ugh. There's some dust in these drills. Not in all of them. That's the first one I saw like that, so hopefully it's not. Anyways, I had never dealt with static before, and so somebody was using the dryer sheets, the little ones, the way I do now, and I'm like, why are you, what's the purpose of those? She goes, it's to, you know, help with the static, and I'm like, static? So I'd never had static in any of my kits, so I'm convinced it's a resin thing, because anytime I do these kind of kits, I never have any static, and it's a breeze to get these things kitted up, you know. And it's so nice because I don't like having to fight with the drills to get it to work. The next kit is resin. They're resin drills, the squares. But so yeah, so Saturday's the big day, and then hopefully I get through to the next round for this interview today, because I need a job. I really need a job to show up. I've been applying and applying and applying and getting nada. So just, I mean, not just even just getting an interview. I mean, it's, you put out your resume and you think, I've got a pretty good resume. I've got a pretty good work history, and you just think that you would, you know, be getting interviews, and it's just been crazy. And then you apply for a job, and it says on LinkedIn or something, and it says there are 100 people have applied for this job in the last 3 days. I'm like, great, I haven't, you know. So that is what it is, you know. But anyhow, so I'm excited. This is really nice. You just dump them in. These are dusty though. These drills are a little dusty. I've never really experienced that. I've heard people talk about getting dusty drills, but I guess I've been really fortunate. They're usually just fine. But I do love this new little case. It's so cute. I saw it and I was like, oh, that's perfect for the small kits, because it's only 30 bottles. Because I hate to use a 60 bottle case for a 30 bottle, you know, kit. Oops, there was one left in there. So it's good to get one that doesn't have that, have so many, because some of them I have a couple different kits kitted up in them because I can. Like I've got, well, with my big one that I'm working on now, I've got another little kit, those Valentine hearts that I've been working on. I had those kitted up just next to it because there was enough empty bottles that I could do it the same time. If I wanted to break, I could just do a heart, you know, or if I just want to sit down and do hearts, they're already set up. So I like that. So other than that, that's pretty much, that's what's been going on in my life. I have had my kitchen in my living room for a while. I finally today got 99% of that gone. I had somebody from our Buy Nothing group. I just put a bunch of stuff in a box. I'm like, I have no place to put this. It's not that it's bad stuff. It's actually stuff I've been holding on to, but I just have no place to put it. So I'm like, okay, it's just got to go. So I posted it last night, and a gal said, I'll take it. So I'll take it, and I'll give away anything that I don't need. I'm like, perfect. Out of my house, somebody else can deal with it. And I really don't care what they do with it. I have a hard time throwing things away, you know, especially if it's still good. But I hate driving to Goodwill, because sometimes they'll take things and sometimes they won't. And there's like no rhyme or reason to it. I had this great photography thing a few years back that I didn't need because it just wasn't something that after I got it that I was going to use. But it was expensive. It was like $150, and I didn't want to just get rid of it. And so I tried to take it to Goodwill because I thought, well, maybe somebody who's a photographer would love to have this. And I'm sure they would, but that was before there was a Buy Nothing group when I first was trying to figure out how to do that. I tried 3 different. Have you ever offered something like I talked to a friend of mine. So I'll rant for a second. I talked to a friend of mine who was a photographer, and I told her what I had. And she's like, "Oh, we already have that, but I have a friend who might need it." I'm like, "Okay." So she gives me their number and says, just text her and, let her know. And so she texts me back all these questions about it. I'm like, it's a free thing. And then, like, she was trying to look at it was up to her standards or something. I'm like, it's free. If you don't like it, you can pass it on to somebody else, but it's brand new. And she, no, I don't think I want that, because I was like, and I was over it. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna, and then I found the free group and I was able to find somebody who needed it, or wanted it. But I just think it's so funny when somebody's offering something for free for you to be picky about what it is that you're getting. Anyways, all that, my little rant here, it only went to 24, so there's a few bottles, 6 bottles extra, but this is the way I'm going to have it, just because I can do these kits just not from 1 to 24, and so kitting up is going to be easy peasy, just, dumping them in. And then I think I'm going to take this stuff out because it makes it harder to close. There you go. Isn't it cute? Is it not cute? It's got this little, it's different than the other ones have like an actual suitcase thing, but this has this little string. I think it's cute. A little paisley butterfly. Anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. According to analytics on my channel, more than 50% of the people that are watching haven't subscribed. So if that's you, or maybe you thought you did and you didn't, please hit the subscribe button. All it does is let you know when a video comes out. It'll kind of show up in your feed. And then if you ring the bell, you'll get a notification anytime a video is uploaded. And yeah, and if you feel so inclined, you can share the channel with your friends. Anyways, have a great day. Bye now.